to Straight Up Paleo, where we talk all things nutrition straight up. I'm one of your hosts, Christina Rice. I'm a holistic health coach and a nutritional therapy practitioner in training currently living in Los Angeles. I'm also the creator of the health and wellness blog, addictedtolovely.com, and the host of the Actually Adultish podcast.
And I'm your other host, Kara Halderman. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner from Dallas, Texas, creator of careaboutit.com, and co-host of the Low-Carb Conversations podcast. In this podcast, we will be discussing all things paleo, health, and nutrition, along with answering questions straight from you.
If you want to submit a question for us to answer on the podcast, head to straightuppaleo.com or email us at straightuppaleo@gmail.com.
Remember our disclaimer. The materials in this podcast are only to be used for advice and are not to be used in place of general medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
If you want to support the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a rating and a review on iTunes. Enjoy the show. Sup, Kara?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, just chilling. It's
chilling.
Late. I'm tired.
Yeah, we're both tired. We're doing a late night straight up paleo sesh.
Yeah, super late, guys. It's actually 3 a.m.
JK.
Just kidding. No,
it's 11 p.m. It's my time.
Yeah, it's past your bedtime for sure. What is your bedtime?
I start my nightly routine around like 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Okay, you
because
have a
I'm
5-hour nightly routine.
I really do. Like right now I'm wearing my blue blockers and like I prep myself by wearing my blue blockers and I just change in my PJs and like, I don't know, I do all this weird stuff like journaling and essential oils and relaxing. You're right. It's like a 5-hour nightly routine. It's extensive.
It's a good one though.
It is.
Okay, wait, I have a question. Do you put on your pajamas before you eat dinner?
No.
I have.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know why, I just have to. I feel like I can't relax until I'm in my pajamas, and I cannot eat dinner unrelaxed.
I kind of love that. Okay, do you wear actual pajamas made for bed, or do you wear shorts and a t-shirt? This fascinates me.
I wear shorts and a t-shirt, but when it gets into holiday season, I wear actual pajamas because I'll wear festive things.
Yeah, they're the best.
What do you do?
I don't know. I have two. I wear nightgowns. I don't know what it is, but pants don't work for me in bed. It's strange.
I feel really weird without pants. I went through this phase where I wore a long t-shirt thing, and then I started wearing pants again, and now I need to have pants on. So You'll
need pants for Texas. I think it's going to be 70 degrees or lower when you come. Oh my
God. You guys, when you hear this, I will be going to Texas that day.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
So cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, you're going to have to tell me what to pack because it's still 5 million degrees in Los Angeles. So
I will. It was 90 degrees today. Texas is stupid. It doesn't know what it wants.
Wait, I hope it's not like that when I come.
It shouldn't be. It actually, no. On my radar, it said it was going to rain on Thursday, the day that you come. But you know what? The weather is always wrong. So
I kind of hope it does rain. Actually, no, because I don't want to bring that. I just want it to be cold.
Yep. It won't be cold, but I think it'll be 70 something. So you need pants.
Okay. I can do that. Well, I'll bring leggings. But also that day is going to be the last day, which is today, the day that you guys are listening to this, is the last day to enter the Primal Kitchen giveaway.
That's right.
It's the last day, and Kara and I, since we'll be together, we can pick a winner right then together. We should do that.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
We should totally do that. What are we going to do, pick it out of a hat or something?
Yeah, we'll, mix it up. Pick it out of a hat or do one of those random things on the internet. But if you haven't, it's not too late. It's your last day. You can be a morning, if you do this in the morning, you can get a last entry in. And all you have to do is leave a rating and a review on iTunes and screenshot it, email it to us at straightuppaleo@gmail.com and make the subject line Primal Kitchen giveaway. That's all you have to do.
Yay, so exciting. I can't wait for our winner to get all the Primal Kitchen goods. My mom tried the Green Goddess dressing tonight and she was obsessed, which is weird because she doesn't eat healthy things.
Do you have a favorite dressing?
By Primal Kitchen or by just in general?
Primal Kitchen, yeah.
I really like the Green Goddess one, but I'm trying to stay away from eggs, so I just eat the Greek dressing.
Oh, are there eggs in the Green Goddess? I can't have any of them right now.
No eggs at all?
No, I can't have any Primal Kitchen dressings right now while I'm on my protocol. So I haven't even tried. I have never tried the Green Goddess because it came out when I was on the protocol. Same with the Caesar. I've never tried them. So
it's so good. One day you will try them.
Yeah.
But the Green Goddess is awesome and the Greek is awesome. Those are my faves.
Yeah, the Greek was always my favorite because that one has been out for a long time. Those are really good. I am going to Primal Kitchen for dinner tomorrow night though. So
yay! One day I'll get there.
Yeah, it's so good. But
I know. Yeah. Do you have any other updates?
No, not really. Do you?
No, zero. Life is boring over here.
I taught that class at Whole Foods last night. It was so fun.
Oh, yeah.
I taught a class about gut health, and then I showed how I make my cinnamon roasted veggies with my yogurt bowls, and it was a lot of fun. I loved meeting people, and I think that they liked it, and hopefully going to teach some more classes. So if you're in LA, you have to come to the next one.
Yes, you have to. That's so exciting. Yeah. I've never taught a class, so that's probably super fun.
Yeah, it was a lot
of fun. What did people think about the veggies part?
They really liked them. They really liked them.
That's good because they're so good.
They're literally delicious. Veggies. I feel like people don't understand how delicious they are because everybody acts like I'm crazy, and I'm like, you guys just try it and then you'll love it. So I don't know, but I think that I definitely need to do another one. So, and I think that if you haven't tried cinnamon roasted veggies, then you should do it mixed with the Koyo. So good.
Oh my God. I'm so sickened by coconut right now. I can't even think about coconut. I just made, so I was trying to make these coconut carob balls, but the batter was too wet and I couldn't get it to be firm. So I was like, F this. I'm just throwing this in a glass dish and putting it in the fridge. And it ended up being these really good coconut carob bars. And of course, being me, I just ate a crap ton of them. And now I'm repulsed by anything coconut.
Well, maybe. I'm sure you'll like it. That always happens to me when you eat too much coconut and then you just give it a few days and then you're like, I need all of the coconut butter again.
Yeah, exactly. But why is coconut butter so expensive?
I don't know. Because they know it tastes like crack, so they can charge a lot for it and I'll still pay for it.
I know. I went to the store just to get coconut butter and I dumped the whole jar into my bowl and I was like, okay. Yeah. Already gone.
I know. Gotta buy it in bulk. It's a precious commodity. I wish that they give out coconut butter. That's why I always feel bad using coconut butter in recipes. I always try and use almond butter because it's the cheapest thing. But coconut butter tastes better in every single recipe.
Agreed.
So
totally agree.
Whew. I think that we should get into the topic for today.
Let's do it. We have a really big topic for the day. Something that we talk about on the daily, probably.
Yeah, and also something that I think that the last podcast with Leanne brought up a lot of questions with people. And I think we kind of forget that you guys you don't see all of our conversations and you don't hear everything we talk about all the time. And I think a lot of people don't realize that Kara and I are very much, I don't know, how do you phrase it?
I don't know. What are we trying to say? I don't know. We talk about
keto a lot and we
do.
Are very much, I was going to say in that community. Does that make sense?
It's so tricky because I don't identify myself with keto, but I do, like, at the same time, I don't know. It's confusing, but we both know a lot about keto and keto for women, and we recognize how important it can be for a lot of people and like how powerful it can be. But we also see a lot of the downsides and some of the stuff on social media that just isn't right, isn't correct, that's giving it a bad rap. And we talk about it all the time, basically. Yeah. And our last podcast with Leanne brought up a lot of questions. First of all, we didn't even define what keto was. So if you don't know what keto is, first of all, it's high fat, moderate protein, and low carb diet. And that on its own can just open up like a whole can of worms. If you listen to our last podcast, we're like, Leanne, what is moderate protein? What is high fat? Like, we just want to know all the things. But ever since then, we've got more questions about keto, so we can probably just jump into the first one.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's do it.
Our first question is from Kristen, and she says, what do you ladies think about a paleo-style ketogenic diet? Should we always strive to be in ketosis, or would more of a cyclical approach be best? She says she works out 5 to 6 days a week and eating mostly a paleo-style ketogenic diet on a cyclical basis, usually less than 50 grams of carbs. She says, I find that less than 25 grams is a little bit too low for me. I usually break keto maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, currently supplementing with a soil-based probiotic, evening primrose oil, and a multivitamin. And she says she eats mostly paleo, like 90%, only when she's on vacation and wants to eat some stuff. So yeah, what are your first instincts?
Okay. Let me just go through the question, just the general question. What do you ladies think about paleo style keto? I just want to hold on for a second.
Right.
But in general, and then she says, should we strive to be in ketosis, or would more of a cyclical approach be best? Short answer, I believe a cyclical approach is best, but let's talk about for a second. So she works out 5 to 6 days a week, and then she says she does a mostly paleo-style ketogenic diet on a cyclical basis. And then she says she breaks keto maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, that to me is not cyclical ketosis. Breaking it every 2 to 3 weeks, like, I guess it is, but...
It is, but it isn't.
It is, but that's not enough. And I'm wondering what kind of workouts you're doing, because you don't say. I'm really curious what kind of workouts you do, because if you're doing things that are high intensity and weightlifting and things like that, and you're breaking it and you're going out of keto every 2 to 3 weeks, that is not enough, in my opinion. I don't know how you're fueling that doesn't seem like it would fuel your body enough. And she's saying under 50 grams of carbs. And I'm wondering,
is that total?
Yeah, is that total or is that net? That's what I'm wondering.
Probably total.
I'm a little scared from what she's saying, that she's read about keto and is trying to do it the traditional version and might be burning herself out if so. I
just want to know how she feels.
Yeah, I'm curious how she feels on this. And this is the problem I have, not in terms of this question, but just when this language comes up, that I see this everywhere. People are like, I'm mostly keto. Yeah, I'm kind of keto. And this is what you guys have to understand. A lot of people throw out the word ketogenic as just a synonym for low carb. Mm-hmm. And it's not the same thing.
It's not at all. Like, keto is high fat. Like, we're forgetting that fat component in all of our meals, basically.
And it can be, to get into ketosis initially can be really hard for people. Mm-hmm. And so that's why a lot of times people say, oh yeah, I'm in keto, I'm doing a ketogenic diet, but they've never tested their ketone levels and they're not actually in ketosis, and they just assume because they ate low carb for a few days or a few weeks that they're in ketosis, and that's not usually true. I see especially these bloggers are saying, oh yeah, I'm doing keto, and I mean, Karen, I'm like, there's no way she's in keto. She's just eating low carb and not enough fat, too much protein. Like, And so those words just get tossed out around a lot. And so to me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm kind of keto. Well, you're not. You're not kind of like, you're either in ketosis or you're not, or you do cyclical. But you know what I'm saying? Like at one single point in time, you can't be like kind of keto.
Right. And it's just difficult because the ketogenic diet looks different for literally every single person. Like Leanne, we were talking to her and she can tolerate a lot more carbohydrates, and her meals, they don't look ketogenic, but she's in ketosis. Like she still eats carbs and she's in ketosis. So that's weird. And it's interesting because certain people's meals cannot look ketogenic, but they can still be in a ketogenic state. So when people say to me like they're eating keto, I don't really understand that, because keto is just a metabolic state. Like that's just your body being in a state of producing ketones for fuel instead of burning glucose. So your ketogenic meal can really look like anything, but it needs to initially be higher fat and lower carbs. And like Christina said, I'm a little worried if you're doing 5 to 6 days a week of, I don't know how intense your workouts are, but if you're working out that much and you're usually consuming 50 grams of carbs or less, and you're only carbing up like once every 2 to 3 weeks, I just wonder like what that is going to happen, like what's going to happen to you in the future, and are you eating enough fat? Because that could be fine for you. The 50 grams of carbs could be totally fine, but are you eating enough fat to properly produce ketones so you have enough energy? Are you eating enough protein for your workouts? I hope you're not under eating. Once again, because that's an easy thing to do on keto, and especially since you're working out so much, but you figured out that less than 25 grams is a little bit too low for you. So it sounds like you've been there, done that. You know that doesn't feel good. You know that you feel better with a little bit more carbohydrates. So personally, if like I was going to consult with you, I would say try carbing up more often if you are feeling poorly or feel like your energy needs improvement.
But also if you're actually in ketosis, like that's what I'm wondering. Like, how do you know that you've been in ketosis?
Yeah.
Is my thing.
Yeah. Have you tested?
A lot of people say that they are doing cyclical ketosis, and I'm like, but were you in ketosis initially? Because then it's just a low carb, and then sometimes you're doing Carb-Ups. You know, it's different. And the other thing I just want to talk about the carbs just while it's coming up is that like, that is such a common misconception, and it's important, I think, to get as many carbs in your ketogenic diet as you can tolerate, because you really want to protect your gut flora, and you want to get as many different types of vegetables as you can into your diet. And that is a problem that a lot of people run into, kind of do it the old-fashioned way, as I would say, where they're just eating like meat and butter. You know,
which is delicious, but it may not get you that far.
Yeah, you're going to run into trouble. It's important to keep colors and nutrients and vegetables in your diet as much as you can. So it's not, I think some people take keto as almost a competition who can have the lowest carbs and
who can keto harder.
Yeah, to me, it should be the opposite. Like, I always want to push my veggie limit, honestly, you know, and get as much as you can in. And the other thing is, though, and people would be surprised, so you might be surprised, because if you're working out 5 to 6 days a week, I mean, it depends on, again, the type of workout, so I wish I knew what kind of workouts, but if you're working out 5 to 6 days a week, you might be able to get away with having much higher carb amount more often and still kick right back into keto the next day. Like, I remember, like, back when I was carbing up every night, I was get back into keto the morning right after, like back when I first did keto like a year and a half ago, like, because I was working out hard, and like my body, it was fine, you know. If you work out more and if it's higher intensity, then you usually have a higher
carb tolerance unless you're just metabolically damaged and you really need to keep your carbs low. But once again, it sounds like you recognize that 25 grams is too low for you, which is usually what the traditional ketogenic diet recommends. Like if you just Google keto, it's like 20 grams or less of total carbohydrates. And I think the community is opening up a little bit more to be more accepting of especially women eating more carbohydrates. So I agree with pretty much everything you were saying. I just wish we had a little bit more information. But if you're feeling okay with what you're doing now, then that's totally fine. What do I think about a paleo-style keto approach? I think it's awesome. I think it's really great if you have good intentions behind it. Yeah.
This is like, okay, well, my personal opinion is I think that people should be, my personal opinion, just like for optimal health, obviously depends person to person, but if I'm just talking in general, I think that being fat adapted, getting keto adapted, and then being cyclical and getting out of it at least once a week is optimal, especially for women. I personally think that women could do with some carbs maybe like 2 or 3 days a week, at least once a week. It depends on your activity level and how you feel, and it's different for everybody. Some people may be less, especially people with different metabolic conditions and other diseases. But if we're just talking generally, like that's what I believe for optimal health, I guess. And I mean, this is just such a hot topic, and it's something that Kara and I debate all the time because, there's so much out there, and we hear people on some sides that are saying, it's really important to increase carbs. And we hear other people saying that, you want to be super high fat, super low carb. We have other people saying, you need more protein, you need high protein. Other people say you really need to lower your protein. Some people say when you're on keto and you're worried about weight, you should decrease the fats. Others say increase the fat, decrease the protein.
Out there.
Yeah, everybody has a different opinion, and that's why it's so confusing. But I think that the one thing that we see a common thread across everybody who is extremely smart is that being able to burn fat is helpful for everybody. But I and Kara and I both really like to look at the way our ancestors lived their lives. And
oh gosh, we have this discussion all the time.
Yeah. And to me, I just personally can't, I think that ketosis is something that we are able to do for a reason, but I don't think that means that we were supposed to be doing it 24/7, 365 days a year.
Totally. Like there's a reason that we're able to burn glucose and able to burn ketones.
Yeah.
Like if we were meant to be in ketosis 24/7, do you think that we would even have the ability to burn glucose? I mean, probably, but I don't know. I just, and in this day and age, like, let's just be real. It's difficult to be in ketosis 24/7. Like times have changed. Food, the availability of carbohydrates is so vast, and it just may not be possible for a lot of people. And like, if you are relatively healthy, you don't have like epilepsy, severe metabolic conditions, like brain trauma or anything like that, I don't know if it's necessary for you to strive to always be in this state of ketosis. As long as you, like Christina was saying, have this ability to kind of switch around from burning fat to burning carbohydrates and burning glucose, that's optimal. Like that's what you want to do. You want to be able to toggle back and forth so your body has a metabolic advantage. That's what we really should strive for, is having metabolic flexibility and being able to handle what we throw at our bodies, but of course not like junk food. But you want to be able to eat a sweet potato and feel good at the end of the day. So I think if you're pretty healthy, you don't need to strive to be in keto 24/7, but it can be really great if you have some health goals. Being in ketosis for a period of time can be awesome.
Yeah, it can be really healing. I just think it's important to remember. I think it's like, I don't think anybody needs to have one way of eating all year round. Like,
forever.
It doesn't even make sense. Like, you want to be able to throw your body different macro ratios and know how to process that all. And think about the way our ancestors were hunters and gatherers, and they weren't getting the same food sources all year round, and let alone people in different parts of the world were eating completely different ratios. You know, like, you think about where you're from specifically in that part of the world. You know, some people were eating much higher carbohydrate amounts, some people were eating all fat and protein. You know, that plays a role into it too. Like, we're not but everybody has the ability to burn ketones because everybody was hunting and gathering and
and
had they had to go through periods of starvation, so they had to be able to burn them.
And they were moving a lot more.
They were moving a lot more. Yeah.
A lot more. And whether you know it or not, like, your exercise and like the amount of movement that you do actually can help you get into ketosis. It actually affects your ketones. So if you can still get into nutritional ketosis without exercising, but I'm saying there are different ways to get into ketosis, and like, you have to keep into account your whole entire lifestyle. And like Christina was saying, as a hunter and gatherer, I guess you knew sometimes where your food source was coming from, but it's not like you had this constant, steady stream of butter that you could just pour on your food all the time, you know? Like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if we'll ever know what our ancestors ate, but I think it's good to have metabolic advantage and switch it up. And if you want to eat a freaking apple in the summer, then you should be able to do that. That should be fine.
I think that the point is that, I mean, even people who are big time, like, hardcore keto people in this community, pretty much everybody says, well, you know, unless you have a medical condition that you're healing and managing through the ketogenic diet, there's no reason to stress yourself out over staying keto all the time. And even people who do, like, even, you know, Terry Walls, for example, she's cyclical. You know, she's only keto part of the year, and she uses it to manage her MS, and, you know, she used it to heal from that, you know, or same with, like, Vinnie Tortorich, like, you know, but they say, you know, just what's important for the general population is, like, eat a lot of fat.
Yeah. Honestly, as long as you're getting adequate amounts of fat for your body, and like, you're limiting the processed carbohydrates and using real food carbohydrates that aren't like super insulin promoting, then you probably will naturally slip into like a mild state of nutritional ketosis every now and then. Once again, unless you're metabolically damaged or have insulin resistance, that's a different story. But if you're moderately healthy, then you may be slipping in and out of ketosis if you eat enough fat. So it's a long topic. We actually have another question though about keto.
I have one more thing I want to say though.
Go for it.
I just want to clarify that, because she says, what do you think about Paleo-style keto? And she recognizes that there are different types of keto just by saying Paleo-style. And I want to just point that out, because I know that maybe some people who don't know much about ketosis, the ketogenic diet, don't really, you know all this stuff. But because there are different versions of keto, and when we're talking about keto, we're talking about a whole foods based paleo style version. We're just kind of assuming that that's what we're talking about. I don't believe in a non paleo style keto personally, because you can eat a ketogenic diet, quote, ketogenic diet, and it can be
terrible quality food.
Really bad quality food. And that,
like, I don't know if you guys have searched on Instagram, like #keto or something, but you'll pretty much see like two types of keto. You'll see the colorful vegetables, real meat, like delicious sauces, butter, all that stuff, or you'll see like meat, cheese, and dairy.
Yeah. And there are all these products that are marketed as like keto products just because they're high in fat and low in carbs, I guess, but they're filled with other things, like all of these cookies and shakes, and I don't know. But and that doesn't mean they're nutrient dense.
I may get in trouble for saying this, but like, I have a problem with desserts being labeled keto. Like, is that weird? Like, I don't know why, but like I do it too. But then when I think about it, I'm like, how is this keto?
No.
Like the whole purpose behind keto is to not want sweet things. It's to become a fat burner so we don't crave sweets. But here we are eating sweetened desserts that are called keto. And it just confuses me because I do it too. Like I've made keto desserts. I still make keto desserts sometimes. So it's like so confusing.
No, I get it. And I do the same thing. But because this is the difference. You and I make a keto dessert with the intention of like, this is something that you can fit into your ketogenic lifestyle when you really want a sweet treat, you know? But other people take it as, oh, this is a keto dessert recipe. I'm going to eat this every day. Or these are keto pancakes. This is my new breakfast. That's not the point of, it's not just to replace everything with high fat, with something that's quote keto. Like the point isn't to replace your regular pancakes with keto pancakes that you found on the internet. The point is to replace it with nutrient dense foods, with eggs and vegetables and bacon and, things like that. And that's the other thing. It's like, I think that also, I mean, I think of it as a lifestyle. Like I would say we both follow a ketogenic lifestyle.
Yeah. And I would say that mine is definitely more cyclical. Like, I had somebody email me asking if I could help them with a ketogenic diet. And I was like, yeah, hands down, I can help you. And she was like, but wait, are you even keto? Your meals don't look keto. And I'm like, because I'm eating carbs right now. Yeah. But when I feel like it, I just go back to low carb, high fat, and I can feel metabolically I shift. Like I can feel it. And I just have an issue with people striving to be in keto 24/7. And then these keto desserts, like you were saying back on that topic, I think though people they think that that's the purpose of those keto desserts. You're supposed to transition from eating sugar to eating like stevia or sugar alcohols or just eating things that are higher in fat, but they don't understand the purpose of the nutrient density portion, like that you need a nutrient dense ketogenic diet and you're not just substituting out your food. I think it can be good for transitioning purposes, like if you're really struggling and you're coming from a standard American diet or something. But I think we're just taking it too far with all these products. Kills me.
It bothers me that I can't believe someone said that to you because
I was kind of like, okay.
This is the thing though, even with the amount of carbs that you eat, I see your meals and you could easily be in keto with what you post, like off of, I'm assuming she sees what you eat, and you could easily be in keto. Like some people can have that much. That's fine. I mean, you can't tell based off of somebody's meal. Like you just can't. I don't know.
Yep.
Well, some people I can. Some people, I don't know. I guess it's whatever. But yeah, I agree. Like how Kara's saying, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what's going. Like I would be much more cyclical than I am if I wasn't doing this healing protocol where all of the foods that would allow me to cycle are cut out right now because I'm on a candida diet and this food intolerance diet, right? So I'm not supposed to have fruit or starch right now.
Yeah, well, and I'm like the opposite where I'm more embracing carbohydrates right now because I'm doing AIP and fat sources are limited on AIP. So I just decided to embrace carbs and I feel great.
Yeah.
So as long as you feel good, guys, like, don't worry.
Yeah. And just because you're eating this meal right now today doesn't mean that you have to eat the same like macro ratios tomorrow or or next month or next year. Like you're not tied into one way of eating. That's no fun. And our bodies are designed to handle different things. That's like the point, and you want to keep that flexibility. You don't want to, that's the problem. That's why I think people run into problems. If you just try and do a straight ketogenic diet long term, you're going to run into issues because your body is probably going to kind of forget how to metabolize carbs and it's going to get totally, I think this is my opinion. I mean, because it kind of happened.
This is our theory. It happened to me too.
Yeah. Like your body like forgets how to handle everything that you throw at it. And I want to be metabolically flexible, I
agree. Yeah. That's why I think carving up is important, especially for women. And we just have different hormones and all this stuff. But I really do want to we at least need to get through the second keto question, because it's a pretty big one, and we talked so much about it already. But let's try and get through the second keto question.
Okay. So I'll read it. She says, wait, was there a name? I don't see a name.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, we forgot your name.
It's okay.
But we still love you.
We still love you. She says, I was hoping you guys could discuss more about the ketogenic diet. Sure. I feel like there is currently a lot of hype around it, but I also read Kara's blog post on her experience trying it out. I feel it's hard to find information on incorporating the diet for females, as keto diets can really mess with female hormones and cause thyroid issues. I know low carb is a common trend in a lot of diets, like Atkins, South Beach, etc., but how low is too low for women? Can you also discuss the interplay between calories and the keto diet? I have tried a low-calorie diet, approximately 1,200, so upping my calories, especially for fats, while trying to lose fat is hard for me. I know keto is more focused on carb restriction rather than total calories, but there are a lot of health experts who still say calories are king. Basically, I'm asking how to cater a keto diet to work for young women without doing further damage to my metabolism. She says she's not a great breakfast person. She always does a smoothie. Lunch is always a salad with avocado, chicken, tomatoes, olive oil dressing. Dinner, post-gym, is a protein like turkey burgers, meatballs, salmon with greens, and sometimes half a sweet potato. If I prepare a treat for the week, I try to do an energy or a fat ball. She uses ClassPass and has a gym at work, so she usually does 1 to 2 classes a week, like spin, yoga, Pilates, and gym the other day. She works out 5 to 6 times a week. And she does strength training and some treadmill work for about 30 minutes on the treadmill. She doesn't take any supplements religiously, but does get constipated easily, so she tries to take MAG when it's about a week with no movement. I really want to improve my regularity and start incorporating a probiotic. Any recs on products or supplements would be great. Eats mostly paleo. Doesn't eat dairy and tries to avoid gluten when she can, but no gluten intolerance. She loves peanut butter and still eats it, even though it's a legume. And if she eats non-paleo foods, it's usually on weekends when out with friends in restaurants. Woo! There's so much in there to cover.
Ooh, girl. I'm hoping it's a girl. Yeah, it is. But, man, where to even start? First of all, my blog post, I did that a really long time ago, and I basically, I tried out doing a strict ketogenic diet a lot of times because I let other people convince me that that's the way that it should be. So I wrote this blog series that I was going to be doing a strict ketogenic diet for 6 weeks. And I was also doing it with the intent of weight loss. So I just had my mind in all the wrong places, basically. And I quit my keto challenge on week 3. And I basically wrote a blog post saying why I quit, because I felt like at that low of a carb level, it was unsustainable for me. And I was trying to do 20 to 30 carbs a day. So that's the blog post that she's talking about. Basically, I felt that was just not right for me. And then I finally figured out I can eat carbs and be in keto and be fine. But
wait, it's so funny is
what?
I feel like when the first time we both did keto, we both did it for opposite reasons. And we both didn't really know what we were doing. Because I did it initially, my doctor had me do it for my SIBO, and because I needed to gain weight, and my body just wouldn't gain any weight because it wouldn't heal, and because of the SIBO. So I used keto, and that was how I finally got rid of the SIBO, and then I was able to put on weight.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I did it for weight loss. Mm-hmm. You did it for weight gain and SIBO. What in the world? That's crazy that you can actually use it for those 2 different purposes, though.
Well, this is the thing that people think that they just equate keto with weight loss. That's not necessarily true at all.
No, not at all. You can gain weight on a ketogenic diet, and there's a lot to say about that. Maybe we shouldn't go down that rabbit hole, but you can gain weight on a ketogenic diet, basically. But she asks if we could discuss more about the ketogenic diet. We've already talked a lot about it so far.
Let's talk about the thyroid thing.
I was going to mention that. She says that keto really messes with female hormones and can cause thyroid issues. I just want to make this clear that keto does not cause, I don't think that keto on its own causes female issues and thyroid issues. I think that under eating on a ketogenic diet causes thyroid issues, but keto on its own does not. Like, that's a huge misconception. But if you're under eating on keto, or you're just not eating enough fat or carbohydrates, sure, like your thyroid could become down-regulated, especially since you're eating like 1,200 calories.
That's way too low, hun. It's way too low.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter keto or not. That's going to down-regulate your thyroid and cause thyroid issues. So it's not that low carb itself is going to cause thyroid. It's usually the under-eating and potentially over-exercising. And this can also be why you're so constipated. That's probably it. Yeah. Because of the low thyroid, and if you're eating that low of calories, under eating and constipation go hand in hand.
I want to know, like, how long you've been on this low calorie diet, and because you're saying now that upping your calories, especially from fat, is hard for you. So is it hard for you mentally? Like, are you scared to increase your calories because you don't want to gain weight or whatever your reasons are? Or is it physically hard for you? Like, you can't eat anymore. If it's physically hard for you, like you can't eat that anymore, that probably means you were way too low calorie for way too long. And you've really down regulated your metabolism. And like what Christina said, your thyroid could take a hit, and that's why there is some constipation going on. Like, if you're not going to the bathroom for a week, that's a really long time to be constipated. And just by upping your calories, it can actually fix the constipation. Yeah. Maybe. But you've seen that before.
And upping the fats. Yeah. Upping the calories and upping the fats can both help with constipation. But can we just like take a step back, and why are you worried about doing ketosis? Or being in ketosis? Why are you worrying about doing ketogenic diet? That's what I want to know when people are asking this. Why? What is your what is your goal? Because to me, I'm like, if you are coming from, she goes, I'm asking how to cater a keto diet to work for young women without doing further damage on my metabolism. Well, you can use a ketogenic diet to heal yourself, but that's going to mean you're going to need to eat a lot more food, and you can't do a keto diet the way that most of the world is talking about it, because most of the world is using keto as a synonym for a weight loss diet and just a low carb. And that's why we looked at people like Leanne or Sean Miner or Meg Dahl, the way they portray keto for women, and it's not a restrictive diet. And
it's not low calorie.
It's not low calorie, and it can support the thyroid, and it includes carbohydrates, So but she's asking this, saying, how do I do this without further damaging my metabolism? I'm hoping that your number one priority is just fixing your metabolism, which then that should just mean I need to increase my calories. Right?
In general.
Yeah. Not worrying about the keto part, Like,
like she's eating pretty good foods in general, right? Like, you're eating pretty good foods, but it's all just low calorie. And yeah, like what Christina is saying, you don't have to necessarily worry about being in ketosis, especially if you're already this low fat as you are right now.
I don't think she's eating enough fat at all.
You're not eating enough fat to sustain your hormones as a woman and to support your thyroid. So there's that aspect. And if you just decide one day, I'm just going to jump into keto and eat all this fat, you're going to have a wake up call. I don't know if you can digest all that. I don't know how long you've been low fat for. And once we've been low fat for so long, our gallbladder may not be able to handle those fats. So if you just jump into keto, then that may not do you any good. You may just need to increase your overall calories, start adding, like when I work with girls that are really low fat, I tell them to just start adding a tablespoon more of fat to every single meal. Like, that's just a good introduction of healthy fats. Like, just do that and up your fats slowly as your body will allow it. And you'll actually see that your metabolism will probably start to kick in and come back. But just the overall calories need to be bumped up.
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate when she's saying to do it slowly, that's important. And maybe because I have a feeling that her body won't be able to digest it, so she might need some liver gallbladder support.
I agree. Yeah, some liver gallbladder support. We've talked a lot about HCl and enzymes before. That's another big thing. I recommend that for like almost everyone because everyone has digestive issues these days. So yeah, if you increase your food, you'll probably need to increase your digestive support as well. But she also asks about calories, like specifically. She says, I know keto is more focused on carb restriction rather than total calories, but there are a lot of health experts who still say calories are king. So what do you think about calories on a ketogenic diet?
I think that oh my God. This
question.
This is like such a big question. It's so nuanced. My thing is not really like...
Don't focus on it.
Yeah. The whole calories in, calories out is old, outdated. It's not like that, okay? There have been people, do a quick Google search. Dave Asprey talks about eating 4,000 calories a day and not gaining any weight, okay? So I went through a period of time. There's so many other factors. Okay, for example, hi everyone. So I never counted calories except one time with my nutritionist when I was really, really underweight and really sick a few years ago, and I couldn't gain weight. And she was like, okay, this is like psycho if you're eating all this food and you're not getting weight. Let's just make sure you're getting enough calories. We counted and I was getting 8,000 calories a day. And it was... Oh
my gosh. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I actually at that point was still losing weight. But because my gut was so damaged and my metabolism was just totally screwed, like the calories weren't mattering at all in my body. Okay, so every person is different. And I remember talking to my nutritionist about it, and I was just crying because I was like, I just don't get why this isn't working, because I was so desperate to gain weight. And she goes, I see this all the time. I have some people who literally eat 5,000-6,000 calories a day, and that's just what they need to run. And other people, are eating much less, and that's what they need. Every person's body, every person's metabolism is different. Your age, your weight, your activity, everything, your genes, like it all plays into it. So it's just so individualized. And it's just, in general, calories in versus calories out is not. And I'm just realizing right now that she's saying that she's been on a low calorie diet, 1,200 calories. And if you're working out 5 to 6 days a week and
that's
doing
insane.
that, I mean, girl, like you can let's turn it around for you. You can totally turn it around, but you gotta stop. Like there's a big mismatch. If you're gonna work out that much, then you gotta eat a lot more. If you're gonna eat less food, still should never be as low as 1,200 calories. But if you're gonna eat less food, then you don't work out as much.
Yeah, it's that stupid eat less, move more thing that like has messed everyone up. I really think that when this whole idea of eating low calorie and eat less, move more came in, it messed everyone up, because in reality it should be eat less, eat more, move more, or eat whatever the heck you want and move however the heck you want.
Exactly.
Like do not worry about how many calories you're eating. Seriously, ditch it. Like ditch your MyFitnessPal, stop tracking, literally just put fat on things, eat however much protein you want. Like
look at ingredients. Want people to that's stop. All you need to worry about is ingredients.
Yes, that's all you need to worry about is ingredients, and don't look at the label, like the nutrition facts label. If it's a whole food, it has fat, it has protein, it has a carbohydrate, cool. Eat it and don't restrict. Like that's so hard.
This is the easiest thing. Like, because people who get caught up in labels, I'm just like, then stop eating food with labels and you'll be fine.
And then you will never have to count your calories because it's just way too hard, honestly. Like, counting real food calories is hard.
Counting real food, counting calories doesn't even make sense. I could write a book on this, but logically, okay, there's no way for you to know exactly how many calories you're eating in a day. There's just no way.
There's always going to be a % margin of error, no matter what. unless you're like, I don't know, crazy about weighing your food and you can really get in there and weigh every single ounce. But no, there's always a % margin of error. And the thing is, like Christina said, she had an experience where calories meant absolutely nothing to her. It just depends on the state of your body, where to me, I actually recognize that it's really confusing because you actually see on the internet, like how people go on a low calorie diet and they lose weight because it does work for some people. Like it does. And just like how eating more calories will help people lose weight, but it's not going to be sustainable for your overall health. Like that is the goal. You should not be aiming to eat low calorie to lose weight. Like, don't you want to be healthy and thriving and have great hormones? Like that's what I want.
Yeah. Well, because, this is the thing about moving more, eating less. Sure, you can starve yourself and lose weight for 2 weeks. Okay. But that's just because that's the initial response your body has. Like we're starving, we're going to basically eat our fat stores and then you lose some weight initially maybe, but not even for everybody. But it happens at first, but then it's going to balance out. When you put your body in a long-term state of starvation, that's what it thinks. And then it's going to completely mess up your hormones. And then it's actually going to start basically, it's going to think it's starving for a long period of time. So the next time you put more food in it, it's going to hold on to it as fat now because it thinks it's never going to get food again. And you want your body to think that it can rely on a consistent food source, right? So long term, that's why it's just, you want to do what's going to help you long term, long-term health. So you might have to go through an uncomfortable phase at the beginning when you're increasing your calories and increasing your fats, and that might be uncomfortable and scary, but it's just important to think, how is this going to heal me long term? And do I want to be stuck in this cycle for the rest of my life? Do I want to be stuck in this cycle any longer? Or would I rather feel a little bit uncomfortable right now and sort of test my limits? And so much of this is mental, but in order to be able to just live and eat stress-free for the rest of my life,
Yeah, I agree. Like 5,000,000%, basically. That's all I have to say about that is I just wish this whole calories thing never happened because it's got our minds so messed up and it just has us focused on the short-term goal when really all we want is long-term health. And like Christina said, it's probably going to be super uncomfortable in the beginning, increasing your food. But that's another reason why it's actually really important to work with someone, especially if you actually suspect that your hormones have taken a hit from this. You may need support in other ways that food alone cannot provide you, especially if you have this chronic constipation that's been going on for a really long time, or you suspect a thyroid hit or something like that, and you're just working out a lot. Another thing I would do, honestly, I would lay off the intensity of your workouts or the duration of your workouts, especially if you're eating this low calorie. Like I would not be working out 5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah.
That's personally me. I don't even work out 5 to 6 times per week, and I eat way more than 12,000 calories. Oh, I suspected. I was talking to Christina. Okay, we do talk about calories sometimes, but I heard on a podcast somebody say that like women should eat 2,000 calories, and we just talk about random stuff. And I was like, do I even eat that much? And I thought I was really low calorie, and it turns out I tracked like one day just for information purposes. Like you can track your food for information purposes only. You need to make that clear in your mind and not get obsessed. And that's what I did. I tracked it, and I'm definitely not low calorie. I don't know what I was thinking. And I don't work out 5 to 6 days a week. At all.
That's the thing. And people hear 2,000. That's why I get shocked when people hear 2,000 calories and they're freaking out. And I was like, dude, I think that's so low. Like, that's so low for me. Like, I mean, I definitely don't eat 8,000 calories a day anymore, but I definitely much higher than 2,000. And people have just gotten these numbers in their heads because of maybe what they're hearing on the internet or what they're reading. But you have to remember that people put those types of numbers out there, honestly, because that's what the world is used to hearing. And they know that people won't believe
They want
them.
it.
Yeah.
We want the numbers.
Yeah.
We want somebody to tell us specifically how much we need to eat
And there are a lot of people who eat. So say it's very common. Let's say somebody puts out a book that says, 2,000 calories is a good amount for women, which I don't, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
It's very common for somebody to put something out there like that, but then they themselves easily eat 3,500 a day. But they would never write that in a book because that's not like sexy to read,
No.
People wouldn't buy that. People wouldn't believe that. And I want to talk. Can we talk about this smoothie?
I was just about to say, can we please talk about the smoothie?
Like, we have to talk about the smoothie because
smoothies bother me.
This comes up a lot with. This has been a big thing with a few of my clients, actually. So, okay. I think maybe you should handle it because you're probably more calm. You're probably calm about it.
Yeah. So I just have an issue with smoothies because we were just talking about calories. They are not enough food. People are just not putting enough food in their smoothies. Like when I looked at this smoothie recipe today, a really popular one, and it was like a snack. Like, no, I told Christina I would drink that for fun. Like people are drinking that for meals.
You know where I got that? Because I sent that to you because my client sent it to me.
Okay. Yeah. So people are drinking like these 200 to 300 calorie smoothies and thinking that that's okay to drink for a meal.
And this smoothie is marketed as high fat.
And it's not. It's like 1 tablespoon of nut butter or 1 or 2 tablespoons of nut butter. And you guys, that's probably not even 20 grams of fat.
It's not.
If it is lower than 20 grams of fat, in my opinion, like that is not high fat. I could eat like so much fat in one meal. It is ridiculous. Way more than 20 grams. And there's no way that little amount of food is going to be able to sustain you and hold you over from breakfast to lunch. And that alone can jack up your hunger signals and your hormones. And like, I have problems with these smoothies.
Yeah. And I mean, going back to fats and like, because, okay, this is the hard thing. It's like, I hate talking about numbers, but at the same time, I understand being in a position where you kind of like need a number to kick some sense into yourself, And for example, I mean, so last week, Leanne was talking about fat and she was saying like 200 grams of fat. And I'll tell you right now, I eat much higher than 200 grams of fat a day. Yeah. So if that makes you feel any better, there you go. Okay. And I will tell you right now, I eat way more than 200 grams. And Kara knows.
Yeah, we calculated it one day. Christina was like, I don't even know how many grams of fat are in a tablespoon, which is a really great trait to have, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
I've never been like a calorie I don't know how many calories are in things, which I'm really glad that I never.
That's amazing. I sadly do. Been there, done that.
Oh,
but
God.
Yes, I don't know how many grams of fat I really eat in a day. Like my fat changes every single day, but it's definitely up in the 200 range. And that's
the thing is, the numbers don't matter though. That's why you have to listen to your body. And that goes back to our point, how calories in, calories out doesn't matter because it depends on your body. Like maybe my body can handle way more fat than somebody else, and just because this person says that this is a good smoothie to drink, well, that might still be way too low fat for you. Or
it probably is too low fat for you. Like if you're getting these, I'm just going to say that, like if you're getting these smoothies recipes off of the internet or from like really popular people and you see like 1 tablespoon of nut butter as the only source of fat, that is too low fat. Like that is a snack. Like that is a fun beverage that I would drink just for a good time because it tastes good. Yeah. Like not for a meal. When I work with my clients and I tell them smoothies, like I tell them to put in like half an avocado, like 2 like MCT oil, full fat coconut milk, like all of that. Like we need all of the fat in your smoothie if you want that to sustain you, especially since you're not chewing your food, like you're just drinking it. That can really mess up your hunger signals on its own. So if you're not getting enough fat in that meal, then you're not going to have enough volume to like signal to your stomach, hey, we're full. Yeah. So there's a lot of tricky things.
We're not the biggest smoothie fans over here, and
I mean, I make them. Yeah, like I totally make them,
but I don't make them often because they mess with my digestion, and just like I think that smoothies can be either they can be a great way to get a lot of calories in, or they can be a great way for people to have something super low calorie, like as an excuse to, like, you know, you can make it either way. And that's the other thing though. It's like if you search for like ketogenic smoothie, you'll get something that's either not ketogenic, like you'll get something that's either like still too low in fat, or you'll get something that's honestly like crazy fat. Because there is a point where you might have disaster
Eat too
pants.
much fat. Yeah.
And get stomach cramps. I remember one time I made this shake that was like a keto shake, and I was like, okay, this seems like a lot, but I'll just roll with it. And oh man, my stomach was cramping for like 3 days. It was
What was in it?
God, it was like it was coconut milk, avocado, egg yolks, and nut butter and
Oh
chia
my
seeds.
gosh. That's a lot.
Like all of that. Like, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I was like, oh man, it was too much.
Yeah, so you can fall on either side of the spectrum. Like you can either be too low fat, or you can be high fat. Like it seriously is about finding what the best fat tolerance is for you, because and a lot of other people think like in order to keto harder, that means they have to eat more and more fat. Well, if you feel like crap, increasing your fat intake and just eating more and more and more fat, like, then that's probably a little too much for you. So it can go on either side of the spectrum, and we have to find that happy medium of what works best.
Yeah. And I just, yeah, I wouldn't worry about the calories. And I mean, we've said this before and I'll say it again. You'd be surprised at how many women are in a similar cycle where they're under eating, overtraining, and then they add the calories and they actually lose weight because their bodies finally think, oh, I'm not starving anymore, so I don't need to like hold on to every calorie that I get as fat. I can use it as energy.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
So
just don't worry about the calories, and please add a little bit more fat to your smoothie.
Pretty please, because
please.
Because this smoothie thing has like gotten really popular, and what bothers me is it's the marketing, because people, we want to trust people, but don't trust anyone. Is how I feel at this point. Anyone on the internet, like, I am just like, don't trust them, which is like hypocritical, but do your own research, double check everything that we say too. Like, you know, just because this is marketed as a smoothie that's high fat and will keep you full for this long doesn't mean it is.
Yeah, like no. I actually don't understand how the smoothie keeps people full.
It doesn't. I think they're lying. Also,
like, I really don't get it.
I'm also wondering, like, how old you are. Because I don't know anything about this person. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, I'm sure right now I can eat a lot more than I'll be able to in 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at a different place in my life, you know? So your age plays something to do with it, too. Like, it's killing me that all these 20-year-olds are trying, you know, really hard to... This is the thing. Like, I look at our mom's generation, and they were in the major diet, cardio bunny, low fat phase. Mm-hmm. And now so many of them are dealing with repercussions. And now it's like, we're like, let's not repeat their mistakes. You know?
I totally agree. Like, it just like hurts my heart to see my mom and all of my mom's friends that are struggling, and like they have autoimmune disease and a lot of thyroid issues, a lot of thyroid issues happening in women. And yeah, the low fat thing was ingrained in their brain. The low calorie thing was ingrained in their brain. The cardio was ingrained in their brain, and it kind of destroyed them over time. So I just wish we could undo it. And that's like the purpose of our podcast and so many other health podcasts out there, and all the paleo people on Instagram. Like, we want to undo all of that false information. And the other thing she's saying that other health experts she follows say that calories are king. Who are you following?
Yeah, that's what I'm like, who are these health experts?
Because if you're following people within the paleo community, honestly, I don't see a whole lot of people in the paleo community talking about calories, but maybe that's because I choose not to follow those people that talk about calories. But the people that I follow in the paleo community, like, don't count calories. They just make whatever food that they've got, and they're like, all right, cool, this is good. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat this. And they never talk about calories. So when it comes to real long-lasting health, the healthiest people that I see never count. So I want to know, like, who are you looking to for your health advice?
Well, I'm wondering if she just means that, you know, how there is that, because we talk about this too, there's this kind of debate in the keto community. At the end of the day, do calories matter? I'm wondering if that's what she means. That who, like, if she's talking about, like, people in keto, paleo who say, like, well, like, at the end of the day, you might need to lower your calories if you want to lose weight, you know?
I guess, but still, to me, that's like diet mentality.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that people are saying you need to lower your calories to lose weight, to me, is diet mentality, unless you're actually overeating and, like, you are, because that is possible. Like, you can train yourself to overeat, just like you can train yourself to undereat. You can train yourself to overeat, and your body can get adapted to overeating. Like, that's a thing. But I think if you're eating a normal amount of calories, like, for whatever that is for you, and then somebody says to you, oh, well, if you want to lose weight, then you need to drop it, no matter what diet community that's in, whether that's vegan or keto or paleo, I just find that all to be in the diet mentality sphere. So I would just rather nobody tell me to lower my calories.
If anybody ever told me to lower my calories, I would slap them.
Yeah, which is why I don't go to the gym or get personal trainers, because then they would just tell me, like, you're eating too much fat and all this stuff, and I don't want to argue with them. So I just stay away from these people.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm like studying my NASM book right now, like, to become a certified personal trainer, and I mean, everything in there, and the nutrition it took me like 3 weeks to read the nutrition chapter, which is only like 20 pages, because I got so heated about I'm looking at it like, should I open it up and read? They literally say that it's calories in versus calories out that matters.
Yeah. Oh my God.
If you have a client who wants to lose weight, make sure that they're exercising more and eating less food. They say low fat salad, and I'm just reading this being like, oh my God, this is why everybody is sick and everybody gains weight.
Yep. That is so sad.
But this is the thing. You have to realize this is so messed up, but it's almost like, yeah, of course the system is going to set you up to gain weight, because otherwise, why would you have a repeat customer as a personal trainer? Because if you just trained them and taught them and they lost the weight, they would know what to do and they wouldn't come back. But if that's why they get you into this yo-yo cycle of, oh, I lost weight, but then I gained it back. So then I need to go back to my personal trainer. Then I'll lose weight with him again because I cut my calories and overexercise, but then I gain it back. And then I have to come back. Like, that's how you make money.
Yeah, it's a crazy cycle.
So,
and,
sorry,
when you just said that, it, like, made my head hurt, because I forgot about that happens in the world. And it just reminds me of when I was going to, like, university to be a registered dietitian, because that was a thing that I used to want to do. And I dropped out of school because I literally sat in class every day to a teacher telling me that GMOs are fine and it doesn't matter if we eat organic. And, like, she sat at the beginning of the room or the front of the room and drank Diet Coke throughout the whole class. So, like, I couldn't take it. I left because everything that we're preaching about is challenged in the conventional world. So, yeah. Okay. We talked a lot about keto, man.
Yeah, but I just think it's important to clear up all these questions, because I think it's important that we put our perspective out there, because I don't think, I mean, if you and I are talking, we talk about this all the time because we hear all the stuff going back and forth in this community, and it can be so confusing to people. And so that's why I can see why people take this information that they think are from health experts and take it as, you know, reliable information, and they get themselves into trouble. And that's why it's important to, I think, be aware of as many different perspectives and as many different opinions as you can find, and read every different side of the research, and not just take one person's opinion as the way things are.
Yeah, even us.
Yeah.
Like, don't take our word for it. Go listen to some other people and read other things. Find what works best for you. Everyone hates that answer. I hate that answer.
Me too.
But you know what? It's so true, which is what sucks. You really do have to go out there and do your own research and find what works best for you.
Yes.
But I agree. We have a lot of opinions, and this is a good way for us to get it out there, and hopefully it's helping some people sort through all the junk.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we could talk about this forever, but I feel like, did you have any other big things you want to respond to?
No, I think we talked basically about everything that we could talk about in there, and yeah, I think they kind of got the point.
Yeah, hopefully that cleared up some things. I mean, we can definitely continue this conversation. We love talking about keto, but we just kind of wanted to clear that up. And we want to clarify, this is not going to be a keto podcast.
No, it's not a keto podcast. We just are kind of fascinated with it.
And
like we are with anything.
Yeah, and like, we're both experienced it. Like, I may or may not be. And we get it, and it's very relevant right now in health and wellness. This word is coming up all the time. God, though, I get so mad because if one more person says, oh yeah, like, you don't go into ketosis after one meal. Like,
no,
like, this is my keto salad, so now I'm keto. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I ate a keto cookie. Like, now I'm keto.
Do you?
Like, no.
Do you know how hard it is for people to get into ketosis? Like,
it took me, Christina, like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, it takes forever
to get into ketosis, and that's slow, actually.
And then you'll be like kicked out because you had just a little bit too much protein, or just like an extra cup of vegetables, or sometimes not, or like you didn't have 1 extra tablespoon of, like, it can get so finicky for some people. Some people it's so easy, some people it's so hard. It's like, no, you don't just eat one meal and then you're whatever.
Yeah, well, bottom line is, this isn't a keto podcast. We could just talk a lot about it. So if you're interested, let us know. Send us all your questions. We definitely can talk more, but it's just not. We talk about all things, health and wellness, anything that you're interested in, anything that you want to chat about. We're open, basically. And we're not bashing keto in any way.
I love keto.
We love it.
I wouldn't eat the meals I didn't eat if I didn't believe, like, I think it's great. And I think cyclical ketosis is probably, I think that's probably optimal for health. That's the current state I'm at right now with all the research. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Might that change? Sure. Maybe my opinion will change. Right now, as I'm standing here, that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. I'm glad we cleared up all of that stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys...
Did you make it through this podcast?
Yeah. Are you still there? Can you hear? Hi. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, since you're still here, you should enter the Primal Kitchen giveaway.
Yeah,
You've got time.
You've got hopefully like 12 more hours. And make sure you're following along on Instagram as I travel through Dallas and make Kara's boyfriend cook us meals. And...
It's gonna be me cooking the meals.
No, we're gonna make Corey serve us. I want to lay there. I want to go on walks and then lay there and watch weird Lifetime / Hallmark movies, and then have Corey serve us.
That's fresh my life.
Sashimi.
Fresh sashimi
and bacon wrapped. What was it? Bacon wrapped meatloaf or like pork? Oh, I want the pork belly. Woo.
Yes. We bought a pork belly, and I'm pumped about it. But okay, we've chatted for far too long.
We did good.
We did awesome.
So late. I'm like, but now I have this burst of energy because that topic gets me so hyped.
Gosh, like my cortisol should be so low right now, but it's not. Like,
so high.
I'm gonna go take all the mag to calm down.
I'm going to go hit up some... Actually, no, I'm not going to hit up some ashwagandha, but yeah. Okay, cool. So if you guys like this, please subscribe. Please leave a rating and a review on iTunes. It helps us out a lot. And make sure you join our Facebook group, Straight Up Paleo Pals, if you haven't already. It's super fun. And
yes, it is.
Do you have any concluding words?
Nope. Other than you guys rock. Yeah. Thanks for making it through all this keto chat.
We love you, and we hope this helped. And if you have any questions, you can submit them at straightuppaleo.com on our contact form, or you can email us at straightuppaleo@gmail.com.
See ya.
See you next week.